Hey guys, it's Taishia, the founder of Black University, which consists of Black Educators Apparel and Black Educators Connect. So yesterday I uploaded a flyer on some teaching strategies. So today I simply wanted to go in depth on those strategies because most things are better in video. And as mentioned, I got into teaching to become the change that I wish to see, to make an impact. And I do things deliberately, and I really don't like to waste my time or my students' time, hashtag reclaiming my time. And so if someone could ask me, I couldn't really list research-based practices, and sometimes that bothered me, but for roughly I've used the 9 that I mentioned yesterday, and it has been very helpful for me. So this video is just going to go in depth. So the first one is to start with the review. You want to spend 5 to 8 minutes at the beginning of a lesson reviewing relevant content from the previous lesson. Within this, you want to give your students more opportunities to strengthen their connections with their brains, and it also helps your students to activate their schema for the lesson. You want to present that new material into small steps so that students, and all of us, of course, we have limited working memory. So when you present the information in small steps, it allows them to process that information. And being cognizant that too much new information can overwhelm that working memory. Research shows that students need new information broken down into small pieces with each step. 2, you want to think aloud. When you read, solve math problems, etc. in front of your students, think about the process and vocalize that process. You want to model and demonstrate to students to help them with their processes so they can think like you. And since you're most proficient, of course, that's exactly what you want. So think aloud the process. 3, guided practice. The most successful teachers, they present new information and they provide students with guided practice before letting them work independently. So guided practice could be working through problems together, it could be having students summarize, it could be having them work in groups, answering questions, etc. It's like the holding their hand through the process. Within this, you also want to state your objective. Make sure that it's written on the board and have students orally read it to you. So your objective should be read before the lesson or after you do your think aloud. Have the students read the objective because you don't want it to be a secret about what your students are learning, and it better sets them up for their learning if they know exactly where they're supposed to be going and the goal. Within that, you want to use organizers. So graphic organizers help students summarize their learning and the most important points. So this information can also be stored into their brain visually and linguistically. So using both methods helps your students achieve the objective. And then 5, you want to sort, compare, contrast, and that helps students, break down the concepts to understand that. So some sortings can be by phonics, sorting by plants or by animals, by types, by shapes, by characteristics, etc. So sorting, and then check for understanding. So throughout your lesson, it's important to see if students are with you. So this lets you know if you need to reteach or if it's time to move on. So when possible, let students respond to you so you can check for understanding. Students can write their responses on whiteboards, they can share their answers, turn and talk, they can hold up a signal on their hands, and then you can provide feedback. So I still remember an activity from my psych class where we would throw beans over our shoulders and we would try to get them to land into a square piece of paper. And if you just kept throwing the bean bag on your own, you would never get, anything, or more likely you wouldn't hit the square. However, if someone gives you feedback a little bit more to the right, it's a little too hard to throw, etc., you're more likely to get a beanbag in the square. So students need feedback to improve their understanding, improve their work, improve their writing. So that was just a synopsis of those strategies. If you have any more strategies that you find really successful, go ahead and comment those below. And remember guys, we're in this together. I started this page because I was one of 2 Black educators in my whole teaching community when I first started teaching, and I felt like I didn't have an outlet or anyone to support me, and I also was only making $21,000, so I was like, I need some more money. So I started the apparel line, Black Educators Apparel, and then I just started this page to highlight all things Black excellence in education. So if you ever need any support from me, let me know and comment any strategies that you've implemented yourself or if this video helped you. But with all that said, thank you guys for following this page and tuning in, and I hope you are taking care of yourself today. Wellness Wednesday. Have a wonderful